Let's set the scene. It's autumn 2020. Boris just announced a second lockdown after the Eat Out to Help Out scheme, which failed badly. You've probably got back home from meeting your sneaky link. Away, I hope not. You better not be meeting anyone in lockdown. Remember, kids, stay inside and save lives like the rules. Anyways, not like our Prime Minister at the time was throwing parties in the middle of lockdown. Do you remember that, Boris? Okay, where were we? Yes, 2020. There is nothing to watch on TV because we're in a pandemic. Until you realise a strange TV show on the BBC. Clicking on it, not realising that Little Mix has made their own reality competition show. What's this about? Woo! And that is, folks, Little Mix The Search. Bum bum. So firstly, who the hell is Little Mix then? So if you don't know, Little Mix are a 4-piece British girl group made up with Perrie Edwards, Jade Thirlwall, Leanne Pinnock, and surprisingly, because I know you lot love to pretend she doesn't exist, Jessie Nelson. Yes, Little Mix were a 4-piece, not a trio. Little Mix firstly auditioned as solo artists on the X Factor UK in 2011 and were put in separate groups on the show by producers that weren't Little Mix till Miss Kelly Rowland, former Destiny's Child member, the band with Beyonce in, noticed the 4 of them were getting along so well. So she decided to put the girls together in their own group. Wow, Kelly Rowland is so psychic because I love the vision she had. Little Mix went on from the judges' houses to live shows, forming a place in the finals to become the first ever group to win the show. After winning the show, Little Mix went on to release 6 studio albums, selling out 60 million records worldwide whilst breaking 9 platinum certificates, beating the Spice Girls, who only had 8, whilst winning 3 Brit Awards whilst being nominated 10 times, which led them to become Britain's best-selling girl group of all time, making history. So you're thinking, what else can Little Mix do that's not selling out albums, tours and winning awards with their amazing choreographies? Well, that, ladies and gents, a long story, because Little Mix decided to create their own reality TV singing show like the one what they were formed on, which is also Little Mix The Search, and that is what we will be discussing today. So sit back, relax, grab a snack and enjoy the show.
You could be part of an incredible new band. We're looking to find and nurture a new wave of talent. Want to work with top music producers? Perform live to millions. And win the chance to support us on our summer 2020 tour. Let the search begin.
So what the hell was Little Mix The Search then? Little Mix The Search was a reality singing competition show trying to look for the next big band. The show was following the regular singing competition route like previous shows such as The X Factor and Pop Stars Revivals in 2002, where young individuals from all around the country auditioned to be on the show who can be added into the band, where the winners could become the opening act for Little Mix's upcoming confetti tour. The reality singing competition wanted to follow a different route from previous shows that only put one boy band and one girl band together, and instead putting 5 groups together in total, which made it a lot more inclusive. The contestants could either audition to be in the boy band, the girl dance group, the girl vocal group, the mixed group, the rap and R&B group, and lastly, the instrument group. And yes, Little Mix was really inclusive with this show because they had people from all sorts of backgrounds, from fans.
Such a big fan of Little Mix. I'm literally obsessed with Little Mix. I love them so much.
To actual musicians. After the audition process, the contestants that got through to the next round, where they had to do a performance with the people who were auditioning for the group category, to be picked by the biggest girl group in the world. During this era of the show, all the performances actually ate, by the way. My personal favourite were the instrument band, the girl vocal group, who were absolutely amazing, the dance group too, because you could generally tell they had talent. Anyways, after these performances, Little Mix were deciding on which contestants were gonna make it into the band. And after that, they chose the members. The groups were confirmed that were Since September, the instrument band, New Priority, the boy band, Nostalgia, the vocal group, Melodies, girl dance group, Jasper Blue, the mixed group, and lastly Why Change, who was the R&B and rap group. Sadly, all of these groups have now disbanded. However, we will talk about the disbandments later on in the video and why they ended up disbanding. Anyways, back to the show. As the live shows went ahead, all the groups were competing together to win the prize of joining Little Mix Search. If I had to pick my favourite performance from each of the groups, it would have to be Nostalgia's performance of No Scrubs by TLC, and I really enjoyed Since September's performance of Drag Me Down and Old Town Road mashup. Like, the rock sound definitely suited that group. The girl dance group, known as Melody, struggled a lot throughout the show until Little Mix told them to sing on a treadmill, which would have helped them with breath control and delivering a perfect performance, and it absolutely worked because during their performance of Kings and Queens, you could tell they really improved with their singing whilst doing the heavy dance routines, because that definitely helped Little Mix along the way. The only thing I remember from the boy band New Priority is them chanting their name during their live show. I really liked Why Change as a group, and I thought they were different. One thing I liked about Why Change is the visuals in the performances, like the one with the white background where the camera's like a fisheye. That's so sick. I don't know what the song is called, what they were singing, but that performance ates. And it's such a shame that Why Change disbanded, because I feel like there was so much room for them in the music industry to get big. Like, they gave us something what we needed. I really hope they come back. Now, let's get to the eliminations. The first group to be eliminated were the mixed group known as Jasper Blue, which I really understand why they were the first to be eliminated, because I just felt like they just seemed forced together, and I just don't think that the public had a general connection with them. I don't think they had a connection with each other. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. The second group to be eliminated was the boy band New Priority, which I get because the boy band also seemed very forced as well. So I just felt the members didn't really go together much. However, we will talk about what happened to two of the special members later on in the video. And then we got to the finals. The groups that made it to the finals were Since September, Nostalgia, Melodies, and Why Change, which is probably the best finalist I would have picked as well. As the contestants were waiting, the winner was finally revealed, and that was Little Mix! Oh, I'm just kidding. It was Since September, and honestly, probably one of the most deserved winners, because they definitely had potential, and I thought they gave us something different at that time. And there we have it. Since September are the winners, who crowned the prize of going on tour with Little Mix. Woo!
Yes, lads. Yes.
Yes, Jane.
Everything they said. Yes.
So, what happened next to these bands? Did they become the world's biggest band after their peers Little Mix and One Direction? Well, I'm afraid that kinda didn't happen. After the show, majority of the groups released a few songs and did a few performances as well, or either just disbanded. Our winners since September went on to release 4 singles and did a few other BBC performances too. Then in 2022 they went on tour with Little Mix for Little Mix's Confetti Tour, aka the Little Mix's last ever tour until the hiatus began. Then after touring with Little Mix since September, disbanded. Pretty sure all of them are making solo music right now. However, their member Jacob Fowler is also in musicals in the West End, so congratulations to him, because that's such a good move for him, and also he was so talented and he deserves all the success he gets. The vocal girl group Nostalgia had 2 members leave the group straight away, such as Maya, who is now an Instagram model, and the talented Tyler Lewis. Tyler is signed to MNEK's label, who previously has worked with Little Mix on their Confetti album, and she has an EP out on Spotify, so she is definitely a star to look out for, because wow, she's just amazing. She's so talented. After the 2 members left, Nostalgia carried out as a trio for a little while. They released a cover of Diamonds by Rihanna on Spotify, and that's it. Also, Nostalgia funnily announced they had an announcement one time, and it ended up being a disbandment. So anyways, that's nice. New Priority and Jasper Blue ended up disbanding anyways after the show. However, this wasn't the end for 2 New Priority members, because ZK and Casey were asked to audition for a new boy band, which ended up being the R&B boy band famously known as No Guidance. Definitely check them out, because they are super talented and they are bringing boy bands back. Why Change released a few songs together as well with music videos. However, I can't find their Spotify anywhere, but their song called I'll Be There is out on YouTube, and you can watch the music video too. I really like the visuals of the music video, and it's a shame they disbanded, because I feel like they gave something different to the industry, and I thought they'd be so cool if they just stayed together, and I feel like they had potential to stay together, if you get what I mean. But unfortunately, they disbanded again. Now, let's talk about Melodies. Melodies was another group from this show. I could have seen so much potential happen because of how much they improved as a group altogether after coming off the show. I generally could see there was genuine friendship with the girls too, and I liked that from them too as well. After coming off from the show, Melodies released their debut single I Hate You in October 2021. It was cute for a debut single, but sounded quite generic. Then after they released I Hate You, they teased 2 songs called Deja Vu and Feel You Close on TikTok, which generally sounded like promising hits.
When I'm with you, I get deja vu. If I'm seeing it twice, then it must be true. When I'm with you, I just wanna feel you close and let you go. Keep it on the down low until we know. I just miss the way we used to, oh yeah. Baby, can you feel it for me again?
However, Melodies decided not to release the songs and kept people waiting until February 2022 and released their second single, Fake Friends, which was an acoustic version. Then they released their third single, I Love Ya, in summer 2022, which is probably their best song they've ever released. However, they never were very consistent with releasing music like majority of the new pop girl groups during this era, who have all disbanded now, and generally they were overshadowed by our very own legends, the R&B girl group Flow, with their incredible debut single Cardboard Box. Also, during this time, Melodies kind of started being shady towards the other Little Mix, the Search contestants, because they were the only group who were still together at this point. This kind of had a little bit of beef with Y Change member Ramina, if I'm saying that name right, who stitched her video to Melodies' shady TikTok, saying how much she's offended by Melodies' comment about being the last girl group standing.
I'm being very, very serious right now when I say I don't respect this video at all. If you guys don't know, I was in a group called Y Change, and the groups didn't work out, and we were all going in different creative directions anyway, so that's the reason why we broke up. Now, these 5 girls coming on TikTok and saying that we didn't go on the show for the right reasons. Absolute fucking bullshit. Now, this actually offended me because I know why I went on the show. I wanted to try the group thing out. I was a solo artist before. I was like, oh, okay, cool. This opportunity came to me. Why not? Like, they all weren't solo artists as well. I don't even know if they were fucking artists, bruv. I don't think they did music in their life. The fuck? When I've been out here grinding and these 5 girls are coming on here shading shit, I just don't understand. You do your thing. I don't know why you made that whole video. To do what? To gain what? What, putting all of the bands that were on that show under the dirt? For a bit of views? Yeah, my thing. This is how you know this fucking industry is fucking shit. I could say a lot of things that happened on the show with them 5 girls. I could say, because I know a lot of things. But I'm going to shut my mouth, because if I say too much, I might get in trouble. We went on the show for the right reasons, for a future in our music careers. Now, if you, man, want to come on here and shade that, and basically call out all the bands that were on the show for your benefit or your gain, you do your thing. Because I know for a fact that I am doing it for the right reasons. I don't know about you 5, but I'm out here trying to make a difference, trying to make a change in this music industry. And you man are just copycats. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm just very offended of the fact that you guys came on and slated all of us and did your little dancing TikTok shit. The last thing I want to say is I'm actually in it for the music because I love.
Which is fair, but kind of turned into a shit show because all of the contestants had commented. And it was just like so funny to watch because it was just overtly TikTok of the Melodies girls just being a little bit shady, and Ramina was saying how Melodies weren't all proper singers and musicians and the rest of the Search were serious, which is quite harsh to say since it was only a TikTok saying that they're the only group standing. So this drama was just chaos and unnecessary. That is my opinion, and I'm sure they are over this by now. Kinda ironic, after Melodies was boasting about being the last group standing from the Search, they disbanded after releasing their 4th single, which was a feature on DJ Win's track called Play With Me, featuring the rapper Taze as well in 2023. Which also had potential to lead them to more success, however, decided to disband. So is that karma from shading the other Little Mix contestants? Maybe we need to watch what we say because we don't want karma to bite us up the bum. It was so unserious. You had to be there. And then I remember earlier this year in 2024, I remember one of the Melodies girls unseriously posted something about the Jonas Brothers on the Melodies account story after they announced they disbanded, and then Melodies fans thought they were going to get back together, but they didn't. This group was something else. And definitely one on their own. Melodies also did a few performances and interviews as well, such as CBBC. They were on BBC Radio 1, the 6 o'clock show, and many more. They even had their own show in December 22, singing unreleased songs that never got released again. And they actually sounded good because I remember watching the live stream. And if they released those unreleased songs they performed at their show, they would have been more successful, and I feel like they would still be in a group because those songs were so good. Oh, it's such a shame.
So whatever you decide,
So if there's any Little Mix fans who know how to leak songs, please leak some of Melody's unreleased songs.
I was just kidding! Come on! Come on! You guys know I was just kidding, right?
So, what on earth went on with the show, and why was it a flop? Well, to start off, there were many reasons why the show was a flop from itself, and the biggest issue was that the show premiered in the coronavirus lockdown. Yes, do you remember that time? It was rough, wasn't it? The show being showed on TV screens in lockdown really did cause some issues altogether, which was due to the fact they had to cancel the first episode of the show due to Boris Johnson's announcement of the second lockdown. Yes, the one after the Eat Out to Help Out scheme. And then they had to cancel another episode, which was the first live episode of the live shows, because the auditions were filmed a year prior in 2019. However, they had to move the show to be aired in 2020 due to Simon Cowell's X Factor The Band show, which is a long story itself, and that's a whole other video to get into. And then they cancelled the first live show because some of the contestants got COVID. Not surprising at all, since we were in a pandemic. And then one of the episodes from the live shows, Jade couldn't be at the show, so she basically is on a massive screen, which is hilariously iconic.
Yes, lads! Yes!
Yes, Jane.
Also, the chairs they were sat on when they were the judges. Why is this giving the Teletubbies? Also, can we talk about the questionable outfit choices? Like, why the hell was Perry wearing tinfoil in her hair? Like, who the hell styled her on that night? Because this seems illegal. I'm sorry, it does. Like, what the hell? Oh my days, he could have, like, styled her so much better. Jessie, Leanne and Perry performed without Jade in one of the performances too. After that, Jessie missed a few episodes of the live shows. We have no clue why though, but I'm assuming it was the same reason why she previously left the band, which was due to her mental health and the pressures of being in a group. However, we all know how her solo career ended up being like afterwards, and that probably made her mental health even worse. So I hope she's doing fine in 2024. Now I'm going to talk about why these groups flopped. By the way, these are all my opinions on why they may have flopped and disbanded, so please don't kill me, this is all speculation. One of the first reasons why all of these groups flopped and eventually disbanded was mostly due to the show being held in the coronavirus pandemic. This was due to the fact that the show itself hardly had any promotion during and after the show, because this was probably due to the fact that the BBC probably couldn't afford to fund for advertisements or any other campaigns due to being scared to lose out on money because we were in a pandemic. Like, not even the winners had an interview after winning the show like regular TV shows have, because most like the winners of a show are normally interviewed on like This Morning, Lorraine, etc. Talk about their experiences on the show and what they feel like winning. But since September, I forgot that a big part of that was the coronavirus pandemic, and that's why no one really knew about the show. However, at least we had one clever promotional tactic, and that was the iconic Little Mixer search bus. Wow, that was something. Like, oh my god, I wonder whose idea was it to get a Little Mixer search bus, and I wonder where it is now, because I really want it. The second reason why these groups flopped was due to the groups releasing very generic and boring songs. For example, I loved Since September's debut single, however the other songs that came out after were kind of boring and sounded the same as their debut single. Like, if Since September released a more edgier, rock, upbeat song after their debut single, like the songs they were performing on The Search, I feel like their career would have had more longevity. I also feel like they were just trying to put out music to fill the gaps until they opened for Little Mix's competitor, so after they could go their separate ways. They probably had their own differences, which is a long story since being thrown together in a group with a bunch of strangers, so it's quite hard to like connect with each other. So no wonder these groups always fall apart. The third reason why some of these groups flopped was due to their inconsistency. Like, for example, the girl dance group known as Melodies released their debut single I Hate You in October 2021, but took months to release their second single Fake Friends, which was an acoustic version. And by the way, before they released Fake Friends, they were teasing music, which was quite promising and actually sounded good. However, they released songs that didn't really show their true potential, which is disappointing because they ended up having their manager as JB from JLS's wife, who
Merry Christmas.
And also, if they stayed together, they could have opened for JLS. I think Melodies were just waiting for a label to sign them when that wasn't the case, because this was in the middle of lockdown. So maybe if they released their best songs, they'd still be together today or even have a more promising career. However, that didn't work out for them, and that is fine. So I hope Melodies Since September are doing well in their solo paths. Anyways, to end off this video, let's finish off with the most iconic part of this whole series, and that was Little Mix's performances. And that performance was their Secret Love Song performance, which should have been studied in history books for future humans to look back on and be like, wow, I wish I lived in the same era as Little Mix. So yeah, thank you Little Mix Research for providing me good quality television, setting me high hopes for some of these bands, and where I thought they were going to achieve the same success as Little Mix in their future. Instead, they all disbanded, and to top it all off, Little Mix didn't even survive the show afterwards as well. So basically, the show was cursed. So thank you Lockdown, thank you Simon Cowell, he definitely cursed the show to make X Factor the band look better, even though X Factor the band was cursed as well, but that's a different video. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. I generally enjoyed making the video and researching it, because apparently this time in history is forgotten, like most things were forgotten in lockdowns. Okay, so before you go, please subscribe to my channel if you want more deep dives of TV shows, girl groups, boy bands and more, because I generally enjoy researching and making these. Thanks, goodbye.
Where is everyone? Where actually is everyone? You little ratbag!
I'm gonna have to stop you there, sorry.
Alright, okay.
And I used to be in a girl band like back in the day.
Oh, okay, what was the girl band called?
Rhythmics.
I need this. Ah! Did you just touch my belly button?
Yeah.
That's my worst thing, it makes me want to vomit. I hate it. Do you feel
It
that?
does feel weird.
Then you up, pull you do, pull me down. I was stupid like cousin now, I ain't around. See, I can reckon.
And then when you said my name, I thought, I'm so flattered. And then you said Jessie, and then you said Leanne, and then you said Penny, and I thought, what is going on?